Film First Friday, and what I want to talk to you all about on tonight is the Transformer movie. I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to watch it while I was in the movie theaters, but if not, it is on a few streaming platforms. I believe if you have Paramount, you can watch this movie for free. So definitely go check it out. It was a good movie. Transformers 1. It was an origin story about the Transformers and how they basically got started. And for myself, I always like a good origin story movie because it's always good to see where people actually come from, why they think the way that they do. And I thought it was a good breakdown to why everything kind of got started with the Decepticons and the Autobots. So definitely go check that movie out if you have a chance. But I will get into the things I thought about it. So one of the good things about this movie, I think you can kind of relate it to families, is you got to see that you shouldn't leave others behind that you basically came up with. And that's very important with our families. Oftentimes we get set in different class systems in our family, or we have the have-nots and the haves. And sometimes those who basically have more, they forget to help out those who don't have as much or aren't doing as well as they are. And so this movie, without telling too much of the movie, it does have some scenes in there where it breaks down that they're basically not going to leave each other behind, and they're going to be there for each other when one basically falls down. Then hey, basically I'm gonna help you to get back up. And I think that's an important thing to actually have with our families, is that we need to be there for each other. We can't always, be there for each other, but when we can and we can actually help out, we should actually do so. Another thing that it shows in there is in terms of oftentimes people will say that, hey, I was born into this type of family, so this is why I act this way. I was born this way, so this is why I act this way, or whatnot. And so in the movie, you will see that the robots were born this certain way, but then without telling too much of the movie, once again, you'll see that they actually change from what they actually were born to or born in. So I just think that that definitely kind of relates to families, because oftentimes you may be born a certain way and you may come out acting a certain way, but that doesn't mean as time goes on that you can't actually change from those habits or the way that you used to be. Oftentimes with a lot of us, we may grow up acting a certain way, being a certain way, but when we become adults, we actually change and we actually do things differently. And I think that was another thing that I looked at this movie and saw and thought that, this is definitely something that relates to families, because oftentimes some family members may start out a certain way, but that doesn't mean that they actually end the way they actually started. Another thing I saw in this was, as far as when you hide things and you tell lies, or you keep secrets from people, definitely in your family, and then it actually comes to light, it changes the way people actually act, and it can have a very lasting effect on certain individuals or actual people. If you maybe find out that your actual brother that you felt was your brother the whole time isn't your brother, and he's actually your cousin or something, this could kind of affect you. Or you find out that your mother's been cheating on your father all this time and now she's leaving the family, or vice versa, your father's been cheating and you find out that he's getting ready to leave your family to start his own, or to go visit his other family or start a new life with his other family. So things like that, and then even other things with families. Maybe there's a divorce, or maybe your mom and dad aren't actually with each other. These things have a lasting effect on children sometimes, and then it actually has a lasting effect sometimes on the adults. But there's definitely other different secrets that probably happen in families. But I think once those things come to light, you gotta be careful of what happens to that actual family member once they actually find out certain things. And so this was something that's in the movie, but without me telling too much of it, definitely check it out. Lastly, I would definitely say unforgiveness. One of the things that spoke to me about this movie, and like I said, they don't say anything necessarily about families, but this is what I just got out of it from watching it, was that sometimes when we don't forgive people from actually doing wrong to us or doing us wrong, and especially our family members, this can have a lasting effect on us and how we actually live our lives. They may go off and be having a wonderful life and enjoying their life, and we still mad about something that happened years ago, you know? And it has an everlasting effect on us because we can't seem to get or find the courage or even find the humility or just the reason to actually forgive somebody. And this will have an effect on us, and then sometimes it will actually turn us to do evil and wicked things. And if you watch this movie, you will see that in one of the characters. And remember this, families are like branches. We grow apart, but together we stand out. As far as good games you can actually watch over this weekend, definitely stand with the NFL. And I think Minnesota versus Chicago, that should be a great one. Also, Frisco versus the Packers, Green Bay, that should be another good one. Philly versus the Los Angeles Rams, that should also be a good game. If you're looking at college this weekend, definitely want to check out Ohio State versus Indiana. I do think Ohio State's going to win, but we'll see. And then Army versus Notre Dame. And then also Arizona State versus BYU. If you're a soccer fan, I'm going to stick to the West Coast Conference on this one. And I'll say the LA Galaxy versus Minnesota. And then LAFC versus Seattle. Those should be some good games to watch this weekend. Have a nice night.